Hello and welcome to another Warleader PvMP video. Today I'm going to be doing a bunch of recording, I think, because I've got a serious backlog of videos to get through. So we're going to go ahead and start this off fairly soon. There is a little bit of small grouping at the beginning of this, but the main feature is going to be me fighting some healers. So that means a couple Minstrels and me versus a Rock Clutcher. So let's get right into this, okay? Okay.
Hope you don't mind,
That
but I'm
word
going to
there,
start recording.
Trepounce, that is Trelios the champion. We are coming up to TA
I'm
because
cool.
we have reports of Freeps here, so we're seeing what we can see and going to go for some kills.
Oh, look, we got a Lore Master too. This should be fun.
Narrowly avoid sliding
Okay,
all the way
LN
down
first.
there, breaking my legs. That would have been very bad.
Okay, I'm going in.
Okay, I'm working on keeping Jadewin.
Okay, I'm going to slow down
From
Jade once you in for a
because-
moment.
If she stops, then I'll go ahead and go for the interrupt. Otherwise, I'll let her go. Throw bubble to Trelios. Now we're going to try to get this Rune Keeper.
You've got
Now there
Bubble
is a
working on
hunter in the
your
background that is currently unharassed, and that is going to
Dropping Banner of
cause
Terror.
some trouble if we don't do something to deal with it. For now, dealing with the Rune Keeper is alright as far as an allocation of our resources, etc., etc., etc. Now you notice we're not the only guys here. There are several other people around. There's a spider, there's that Reaver there in the background. He's going to probably die very shortly here. Alright. Hunter finished me off as I predicted. Leaving the Hunter alone caused problems, and there went that Reaver. And there's that spider Hyrea.
Yeah, better get out of there. Everyone else seems to be dead except for the spider.
But unfortunately, Minstrel's rezzing, and so the warg and spider won't wrap it up. Okay, here we came back, and everything was there was no fighting going on, so I was a little suspicious of all this. And the lore master started shooting me, then the hunter started shooting me, and yeah, just some strangeness. I do manage to slide down the cliff there. They don't pursue, and so I'm just trying to get in cover. And I got cleared there, and the warg does not. So we come back, and it turns out that they actually want to do some 1v1s and stuff. So Jadewin goes ahead and challenges me, and I'm just like, okay, sure, whatever, I'll do it. So off we go. Alright, now here we go. The main attraction of this entire video. This is how I fight a Minstrel as a Warleader. Turn on defensive aura, because they're doing tactical damage and they're probably going to be keeping distance for most of the fight. So you're going to get more benefit out of the extra armor, mitigations, etc. than you will out of having aura of command turned on. So that's the first thing. Second, I'm going to fight them from commander stance, because the way that I'm going to be able to win is by outlasting them and out-tanking them. Unfortunately, power regen is very good for Minstrels nowadays, so that's very difficult to pull off.
This is going to take a while, so the NPC's probably going to respawn. Next time it comes by,
Jadewin was
you can
very
just grab him.
nice and backed off there.
Yeah,
Would have been okay
sorry.
if she hadn't,
I know what this
because the warg will take care of the NPC.
So actually with
So
the rate
here we
that-
are, we're back in after the NPC is done, and now we're back to this. Now, right now, I am staying right on top of Jadewin and just making sure to get auto attacks and such off. I do want to force her to use power on heals if I can, and I want to avoid using a whole lot of power on attacks whenever possible. So that means trying to get auto attacks any chance I can. I will go ahead and dump shouts, but that is mostly so that I can take advantage of Power of Fear and get instant heals off. Right, now, you'll notice I do have the Banner of Terror in reserve right now. The Banner of Terror, there are two major ways we can use it. You can drop it early on in the fight and try to take out a bunch of their power and regen and put a lid on their damage in the early stages of a fight. or potentially drop it as soon as they blow a cooldown that's going to enhance their damage, like say a champion with controlled burn. The other, right now I'm just looking through there trying to find out which one removes the song effect, because I don't remember off the top of my head, and I wasn't sure which one it was. I don't think I actually used it. I do go ahead and pop that, trying to get rid of the echoes of battle, but it does nothing. That thing is unremovable. Personally, that should be removable with the song effect removal, but whatever. As I was saying, the other option that you have for the Banner of Terror is you can try to keep it in reserve and drop it when your opponent gets down towards the bottom of their power bar and such, and that basically just shuts them down so that they're no longer regenerating anything and they're stuck doing nothing while you potentially heal yourself back up to full, or even press in and start going for a kill. That's my plan for right now. I realize that my only chance is if they run out of power, and then I put down the Banner of Terror, their power pot, health pots on cooldown, etc., and I've got a semi-decent amount of chunk of the health gone, 1,000 plus, and then I'm able to burst them down. That's my only shot here. I should be hitting my power pot, there we go, and I could probably stand to hit my health pot right now, although
Man, if she gets too much lower, I'll be able to drop the banner and seal
so,
her power.
right now, she's very low on power, so we'll see if I'm able to pull this off. There's that buff again. I did find out later on what that buff actually is. It is the Dragok cloak, and whenever you do damage, there's a chance that they get a buff that gives them extra power.
I'm actually in vent with her.
I really don't like that, just because there's nothing comparable
that's
to
great.
Greenside. But you know what? It is what it is, and whatever. I've gone to Brawler stance right now. One thing I'm doing is I'm going to be very careful to try to keep my health levels high, because right there, power pot, and if you're not paying attention to where your health levels are, you could potentially set yourself up to get burst in very short order. Banner of Terror is still out right now, so I've got some time to go back into Commander's stance and get back to healing. I should be dropping back into Commander's stance very shortly here. I think I'm going to go ahead and just pop off a couple more shots and just see what happens, because she still is at the bottom of her power pool. But Banner of Terror is going to run out fairly soon, and then it's going to cause some problems. So I have dropped back into Commander's stance, quit whining and fight, because I want to get myself back in the 10,000-ish range. And now it's just going to be auto attacks, because I need to take care of my power levels. I'm going ahead and switching on to R of Command, so that I can do extra damage to my auto attacks. Also, since she's not putting any damage on me, that also helps. Now notice, she walks backwards a whole lot. Now that's perfectly great in PvE, where the mobs come at you and they just worry about getting in melee range, and when they hit you, so they'll stand in front of you. But all I'm doing is I will walk up and I will get right behind her and then mirror her and just walk backwards as well. It's going to be a much better example of this very shortly. I've just dropped into Brawler stance once more. I don't remember what heal that was exactly. That's one of those war speech heals. I don't even care to bother knowing which heal it is. It's just one of those war speech heals. But as you can see, with the continuous kiting, it's very difficult for me to put a lot of damage on her. And the only thing I really have to worry about is managing my power and health levels, and that's mostly just a function of managing power levels and making sure that you don't forget to heal. And her damage output, she cannot burst a Warleader down because I've got too much health and too much armor. It just doesn't work. The thing is, for that same amount of survivability, I trade away the ability to burst her because I've got no crowd control, or really anything. My command post despawned. I'm not sure if it ran out of time or if I moved a little too far away. It doesn't really matter. Alright, let's see what this... She's letting me just stand right behind her now, and she's trying to walk backwards. Now I'm mirroring her. I just pay attention.
She says that she
yes,
gives
the
up.
cheerleader at this point, he is in vent with her.
Oh man.
And so we
I'll
call
call
it,
it a draw too.
if you notice right there, that she was able to walk backwards with me standing behind her and still hit me with her abilities. Wolfbright is the next Minstrel. He shows up shortly after that. Wolfbright's overhead. He wants a piece of me, so he starts coming at me. He doesn't do the exact same thing there, but I have to say, the number one, walking backwards like that, letting someone get behind you is, I don't care what class you are, what's exactly going on, that's a stupid move to make. Here comes that NPC, but Warg is going to take care of him. So there we go. No more aggro, and I keep shooting at Wolf just so that he doesn't try to cancel this whole fight.
Yeah, I know, I don't even stop.
Anyway, I just, you know, I don't care. I took what, a couple hundred damage from the NPC? I don't even care. Big deal. Alright.
Ah, shit, sorry for the
Once again, I am holding the Banner of Terror in reserve. Let's see if Wolfbright...
Oh no, only 10,000? I mean, 12.
The fight's not going to go anywhere, just like the other one. Because
I'm sure
as a Warleader,
danger of death
I've got
now.
the health and the armor and the healing to be able to survive, but I got no crowd control. I've got nothing that I can use to be able to say that I'm going to shut them down for a little bit and put on some serious burst to be able to kill them. I mean, I can put on some serious burst when I get lucky with crits, and if they don't have the proper mitigations and such, that can happen. But it's nothing continuous, and it's nothing reliable. I mean, even with the Minstrels, they have much the same situation, but they don't really suffer for it because it's a lot more reliable. Their cooldowns aren't as restricted. And, well, there's other things that they can do to build their character so that it becomes a little bit easier to manage. Plus, their base damage on their skills is a lot higher than base damage on Warleader skills. But, up against a target like Warleader, they can't burst me, I can't burst them, and it's a stalemate. We're really not going to see anything new that wasn't in the last Minstrel fight here. So, I don't know, maybe I'll play some music. Who knows? We'll see. Well, I've dropped into RF command. I'm trying to put some extra damage on him, but there's really nothing else going on. That burst of infamy right there, there is a level 40-something hunter that showed up, and he just started taking pot shots at random creeps, and so they just jumped on him and killed him. And I think he did that a couple different times on this particular evening.
You alright there, big man?
Oh, yeah.
I notice Wolfbright is doing a lot more damage than Jade does. Another thing that I like that he's doing is he's actually figured out that I'm just trying to turtle up and outlast him. So he's actually moved into melee range, and he's trying to take advantage of auto attacks and everything that he can. I like that because it's a smart move for him, but it also helps me out because that lets me get off my auto attacks. Levels the playing field a little bit. Alright, Banner of Terror goes down right there because I realize that I am in danger of getting killed, but I drop the banner. That puts a lid on his damage, and that's going to let me heal myself right back up. So they're at 1,000, back to 3,000, and now my health is going to continue to rise, and I've got still 40 some odd seconds of being able to boost my health back up, and he's also running out of health very, very rapidly because he's trying to burst me down.
That's
with
right.
the
turn on the RF
with all this
defense
stuff.
when I start getting low on health.
As you heard me say right there too,
I'm good now.
I had not turned on my RF defense from when I fought Jade in that last section, so the RF command being on was not actually intentional for that whole section. Now I turn it on, and that'll enable me to survive a lot better against his tactical damage. That should have been on at the beginning of the fight. That was a mistake. is out of power right now, and he's pretty low down in the health. So this would be my one opportunity to try to get him. I do go ahead and turn on RF command. I don't want to risk going into brawlers right now because my health pool is not very healthy right now either. There went his power pot, and so now I'm going to need to... I was there getting shot by that hunter right there, but I'm going to need to turn on defensive aura again very shortly. You know, level 43 hunter, he's a warg snack. It's just a drive-by.
What, did he just say he's surrendered? Nope, he hasn't.
Should be popping my power pot right there, and healing up. So we have reached a stalemate once more. There goes the defensive aura. And this fight has officially come to a neutral conclusion. I already know it. I was already expecting it.
They're all
it's
going
just
to
a matter
fuck.
of how long does it take for the Minstrel to realize that we're
Oh
not
no,
going to go
they're going to the Reaver.
So, yeah, sure, I've got 400 power right now, but I am good at power management. Okay, let me just be honest with that. I know how to play my Warleader when he's at the bottom of his power pool. When he's got 100 or less power, I don't panic. I'm just fine. I just keep on going. Doesn't really upset me or make me worried or anything. I'll just keep right on trucking. I mean, as you notice there, just because I'm laying off of my auto attacks, well, actually my shouts and stuff, my power pool is actually starting to increase a little bit. Of course, every time I'm popping off a quit whining and fight, it is not going further up. It's getting knocked down significantly, but otherwise, power management is just fine for me. I'm also maintaining a decent level of health. I am hovering around the half health mark, going up and down by 3,000 plus over the halfway mark. But at the same time, he is running out of power, and so I should be just fine. Power pot is going to come off cooldown very shortly, so that'll help things be a little bit more stable for me. But I haven't even dropped below 200 recently, so I'm still just fine. Alright, health pot is also coming off cooldown. I will go ahead and pop that as soon as it's available, just because that'll boost me further towards full health.
Watch out, you got an NPC really close.
But, yeah, it's still a stalemate. I'd just say, the amount of self-healing that Minstrels are able to perform in War Speech is very out of balance. Alright, Banner of Terror, I'm just checking the cooldown on that because I know it's almost ready. Once that thing goes down, that's going to be the end of this particular round. And my health's going to go right back up. I'm already in defensive aura, so that's going to be it. Popped the Banner of Terror, and then I went ahead and hit Quit Whining a Fight just because the Banner of Terror going down and that animation gave me enough time for it to come off cooldown. That time I only got down to the 4,000, I think touched the 3,000 range, so it was much better for me. There, I'm using my flag to talk to him because he didn't even get me as close as he did the other time, and he's almost out of power again. There, touched 1,000 there, but health is going right back up again.
Oh, I just told him to send him a town.
Yeah, I've got a.
Now the other thing is
life
that
Call
at
of
this
Duty right
particular
now.
point, I'm trying to
He came real
disengage
close.
from this because I actually need to go eat dinner at this point, and
You said you got
it's
a
just
real
two
life,
people in the house.
trouble?
But the one person's been waiting for me for several minutes to
yeah.
stir the reunion
Plus,
dinner.
I mean, he's out of power now,
traditional
so
salad
I think we
Chinese
can
New
safely call it.
We don't really celebrate Chinese New Year, but
Yeah.
you know, there's good food there, and hey, we'll partake in that. That's what happens when you live in Singapore a long time. You adapt to some of the local customs.
Yeah, they all send him tells and whatever, and he's still going. What the hell is this dude's problem, man?
Alright, I've turned off auto attacks.
I don't know,
That
I've
should
stopped
hopefully
attacking him, I'm just
indicate
healing
that
back
I'm ready to stop the fight. He seems to have also stopped attacking for the moment, but that's pretty much the end of it. And there we go, 2 draws against Minstrels. Now, Minstrel versus Warleader, it's great just because I can draw that fight. You know, it's a shock to Minstrels because most of them are so used to being able to get away with whatever they want to. All right, so I challenge this Rune Keeper. This Rune Keeper has watched me fight both those Minstrels to a standstill. As I said, Trelios was in vent with a lot of these guys because he happens to be in the same creep side kinship as a number of them. And so when I walked up in front of the Rune Keeper and challenged him to fight, she panicked instantly, and he was telling me about that, and so I was laughing about how that was going. Once again, I've started off the same way as I do for a Minstrel fight. Right there, that effect that happened there, where I got stunned and was able to do 2 different heals using my 1 power of fear, that happens all the time. You can't predict when that'll happen, but just remember that if you get stunned in the middle of a power of fear heal, the heal goes off, and then the power of fear does not go away though, because the effect gets removed after the heal goes off, and because the animation is slightly interrupted, it doesn't take it away. So you can double up your heals with power of fear whenever that happens. Be sure to do that. Alright, now unlike the Minstrel, the Rune Keeper cannot really heal themselves back up the way that a Minstrel can. Before Rise of Isengard, with the Master of Writs, the Rune Keeper was where it was at for being able to damage and heal and be OP like that. Not so much anymore. Master of Writs does so little with the damage levels we're at now that that's what happens there. Is you try that, you're going to get flattened. Okay, so there are the healing fights. I really don't know that there's anything to say about it that I haven't already said, because the Minstrels took long enough that I got through everything I wanted to say about them and more. Rune Keepers, I have to say, after that particular fight, the Rune Keeper's actually in a far more balanced place than it's ever been before. All throughout Moria and Mirkwood, Rune Keepers were just the absolute hardest guys for me to fight. I remember especially rank 6 and such, when I was really starting to get into learning how to 1v1 against every single class, and my goal was kill every single class at least once. I was running into Rune Keepers all over the place, and I was learning how to fight them and stuff, and I got to the point where I was like, man, if I just had a little bit better regeneration, a little bit more of this or that, I could totally take them. And like at rank 7, and then like literally right then that update came out that gave them the Master of Writ skill, and my ability to kill them got just torn away from me, and it was just horrible. I was very unhappy about that, because I'd gotten killed dozens of times trying to figure out how I was going to fight Rune Keepers and working out how I could actually go against them. And I finally had a solid strategy. I finally had my character at the proper rank so that he had all the necessary core attributes and skills to be able to pull it off and actually come out with a win. And then that thing came out, and there went my ability to kill Rune Keepers. I could kill a Rune Keeper if they weren't expecting me to be able to actually turtle up and survive most of their damage, and they would run themselves out of power, because then they would get themselves in a point where they couldn't properly use Master of Writs and such. And I did kill a Rune Keeper that way. It was actually Drelorin, who was a fellow podcaster at that time, and I think I mentioned that on the podcast somewhere around episode 15, 14, something like that. You can go listen to that if you want to. But Master of Writs, the heal that you get from that, it's not like it used to be. It does not undo multiple shouts worth of damage anymore. The other thing is, now we've got finesse and all kinds of other fun stuff to go through resistances and things. And so the ability to put out damage onto the Rune Keepers and other targets has been improved by a significant margin. And the other big thing is now we've got Power of Fear. So I can put damage on targets, and it's not a matter of I'm just throwing damage towards them to work eventually towards the goal of being able to finally finish them off, but it's I'm throwing damage at them, and when I'm getting crits, that enables me to get off my big heals and keep myself in the fight that much more effectively and that much longer. And also, Brawler's Stance is actually really viable against a Rune Keeper. I mean, even to start a fight off against a Rune Keeper, I haven't tried that yet, but Brawler's Stance, Aura of Command, you could easily do that, and just because of the ability to keep doing the quit whining and fight on the move. Use cover, pop off shouts multiple times, and keep yourself healed up. You're going to be able to heal yourself up far more effectively than the Rune Keeper will be able to, and eventually whittle him down. But it will be a much closer fight than what happened with what I did. Alright, well, that is all for this time. You've survived the healer fights, and so have I. And here's a little picture of what happened after that Rune Keeper. They deployed their rock and named it, and, well, I think that the names there speak for exactly what happened there. All I do have to say about that is, I want to be a Warleader. Okay, you want to be a Warleader? Fine. To get where I'm at and to be able to do the kind of stuff I do, you are going to pay the price to be able to pull this kind of stuff off. You are going to get flattened numerous times. You're going to grind through your ranks tooth and nail, fighting uphill every step of the way, and you will earn it with blood, sweat, and tears. If you're willing to do that, then yeah, you can be a Warleader. You can rise to a high or medium-high rank and be able to pull off stuff that other classes can only dream of, stuff like Solo and Captain Generals and fighting Minstrels to a standstill. The only other guys that can pull that off are Defilers, really. But you're going to work for that, and that's all I really have to say. I love Warleaders. I love everybody who plays them, but you do not get there easily. It is a serious investment to become a Warleader. Don't think that you're going to roll a Warleader and be doing this kind of stuff overnight. I've got the benefit of, let me think about this, 2.5 years of playing this guy. Wait, is it 2.5 already? Yeah, I've got the benefit of 2.5 years playing this guy and learning how to fight at the periods when Warleaders were at the bottom of the totem pole as far as being viable solo, even when they were like second from the bottom as far as solo viability, with when the Black Arrows got their big nerf at I think it was update at book 3 and such. Warleaders up until Isengard, people would be like, oh, Warleaders, oh, they're just taking a little while to kill, and most people had no clue how to play them. I went in there and I was just like, you know what, people don't solo on Warleaders, don't solo on Warleaders. I was like, I've had some not too bad success. I could see all the potential in the class from just myself playing. I said, I'm going to learn how to turn this guy into a soloing monster. And I did. I killed every single class the Freeps had before Rise of Isengard solo with a Warleader. Every single one. Most of them multiple times. The only thing I never got to kill solo with my Warleader before Rise of Isengard was a Ranger. And that was just because the Ranger fights would always get interrupted. But I definitely could have done it if I would have been given enough time to actually go at it. Alright. We'll see how much of that ends up on the cutting floor. But that is all for this time. Once again, I've got a ton of stuff, so I'm going to be pumping out some videos as fast as I can. I've got a little break between editing and recording podcasts right now, so this will be my major creative endeavor for a little while, so it's just going to be competing with me wanting to play Lotro, and we'll see how many of these I get done very soon here. Alright, that's all. Good luck and have fun out there. Ugmog is out.